And it says we're live. What's going on, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is in your part of the world. Welcome to Home Built Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live, and Happy New Year. This is the first live of 2026, a brand new year. Wow. Hope everybody had a great new year. I need to get the chat here. I can't see it. I hope everyone had an awesome new year. And here we go for another one. It's time to buckle up. So let's see what's going on. What's everybody up to today? There we go. We got there's a chat. Haha. One of these days I'll act like I've done this before. What is going on? Robert's here. Robert, good morning. Robert says, howdy, people. Hope everyone's doing well, staying safe and healthy and warm. We're doing great, Robert. It's not bad here. It's not cold, not super warm. I think we're in the 40s. Hey, dude. Good morning to you, too, but from the future. My hair dude says, what's up? No problem staying warm. It was 43 degrees Celsius today. Hey, that's about what we're at, 43. Not Celsius, though. 43 Celsius? Harry dude, whoa. What's that, 108 Fahrenheit? Woo! That sounds, let's see, 45 is like 112. So, yeah, man. That sounds like what I would expect Australia. I don't really know, but sounds pretty good. But I know you enjoy that. Right on. Robert says currently here in north central Oklahoma, 52, expected to get up to 70. Supposed to get brutally cold again by Friday. Yes, that's what we're supposed to get. Thursday night or something. Some sort of snow weather is moving in or something along those lines. So we'll see what happens for Friday. I don't know. But right now, we're good. Supposed to be in the 50s, I think, today. Bam, I'll take it. What a weird winter, though. Brian's here, Brian. Brian says, hello, everyone. I hope you are all well. Right on. What's going on, Brian? How are you? Happy New Year. All that. What is going on? How are things going? How's things going in your world? Your neck of the world, neck of the woods, part of the world. There we go. What's everybody up to? What do everybody do for New Year's? Anything in particular? Does anybody celebrate? Do you celebrate New Year's? I think we talked about this last week a little bit. But just want to know, how was everyone's New Year's? Francisco's here. Says, hello, Jeff. ¿Cómo está? I'm doing well. Right on. ¿Cómo está? Bien. Muy bien. Says, I'm doing well. Right on. Francisco, what are you up to today? Right on, everybody. Yeah, today, let's see. I am spending my time in front of the computer for the most part. I'm working on, I told you guys I was going to get on that multi-scale guitar build. Well, I am working on that. I had to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, because I had been modeling the guitar body, and I realized that I had it scaled incorrectly. I messed it up. I started on, let me back up just a little bit. I'll jump into my process. So I take a picture of one of my guitars that I'm going to create. So I take a picture of it with a ruler. That way I can scale it to the ruler, all that sort of thing, redraw it, boom. But apparently I did something wrong when I scaled it. So I drew the whole guitar body, started comparing measurements to the actual guitar, and realized I was off. Like, it was way bigger than it should have been. So I've been back to the drawing board, taking new pictures, basically starting from scratch again, which kind of is a drag, but whatever. I want to do it right. And so I'm working on that today. Just finished taking some new pictures, getting everything scaled and in place. So now I can redraw the body and yeah, hopefully start cutting some pieces here. So that's what I'm working on. Not a whole lot here in the shop. We've been, doing a little bit of tinkering around. You can see some sawdust and shavings. I've been going through some of my materials, getting some boards ready to use for like sample cuts. This is just a piece of pine that I'll probably use for just a test body. I've got a couple of those. Maybe I'll use another one for an actual body. I don't know. Might build one out of pine. That'd be interesting. This blue stain beetle kill pine might be kind of cool. But yeah, just kind of getting things cleaned up, but mainly working on that multi-scale guitar because I want to get started on that. You know, researching things like the bridge and the pickups and, you know, getting dimensions and drawing all that in. So, yeah, just kind of doing some computer work. Not focusing, at least this week, on video in particular. You know, everything with the holidays and all that. Everything, I don't know about you guys, but everything gets so messed up. And so we'll take a week or two, not focus on videos and stuff like that, but I want to just work on getting this guitar drawn up. Plus, I got a customer bringing up a couple guitars here as soon as we're done. So actually, I don't know, depending on how punctual he is, he might be here before we even finish, but a couple guitars, just a setup and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's what I'm working on, mostly computer stuff. What about you guys? Francisco says, yeah, right on. Woohoo! Nice. Thanks, Francisco. Robert says, I've not seen any of that cold white stuff that falls from the sky in winter. Or supposed to in this part of the world. Same here. We've had one early in December, and that is it. I don't know what we're supposed to get this, you know, the end of the week. Who knows? We'll see. Dastardly Dave says, sup all. Dave, sup. How are you doing? How's everything going? Right on. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I can't believe we're in 2026 already, it seems like. I haven't written it down as 25 yet, but I don't seem to have to write the date as much anymore. So I don't know. How about you guys? How long does it take for you to write down or to stop writing 25 and actually put 26? I thought that was the customer pulling in. You might hear a beep. It's like the propane delivery man. I remember like in school and all that when you had to write the date all the time. Oh no, I hope I hope the propane delivery man doesn't mess up the Wi-Fi because he had to back right in line of sight So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed that it doesn't mess anything up. Should be fine, but we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't mess it up. But yeah, I remember in school you'd always have to write your date, you know, on your papers, and it would take forever for me to stop writing the wrong date. Anyway, let's see. Oh, stop clicking stuff. Like, I lost the chat. There we go. Okay, we're back. Yep, so that's what's going on around here. Cleaning up the shop, trying to a little bit, trying to thin out the herd a little, been reorganizing some wood and materials, even reorganized, you know, some storage stuff to try to increase, try to get a little more space to move. You know, nothing super big. But like I said, with the holidays, you know, it's hard to get a block of time to come out here. You know, schools are out. You got holiday plans. You guys know how it goes. But it's been going pretty good. Been going pretty good. I just cannot say how excited I am to be working on this next guitar build. Well, not officially building, but doing the behind the scenes stuff. Like, I'm not super stoked to be sitting at the computer arguing with dimensions and stuff, but overall, I really want to build this guitar, and it's gonna be cool. I'm super excited. Like I said when I first started talking about it, I don't know why. I'm just excited about this one. And my apologies if you hear that background noise. Propane man's here delivering stuff before the cold weather. Robert says, was watching Matt Cremona bandsaw mill running a few days ago. He was cutting kind of rotten in, he was cutting rotten in spots of white oak, had lots of metal in. Oh yeah, turned large parts a dark blue. Yes, I have seen that where metal is embedded in the material, and you'll get that staining, like those iron or whatever kind of stains the wood over time. Kind of neat. I like this beetle kill pine. I might use a piece of this. I've got, I think, 2 chunks. This one's big enough to get a body blank. You can see I've kind of drawn on here roughly from my template. So I may split this, glue this up. The edge is not jointed yet, but glue that up for a body blank. Maybe I'll build one out of it. It's just got some cool. This is ponderosa pine from here locally in my area. Blue stain, lots of different colors. Really a cool looking wood. And this has been sitting around for a while. It's nice and dry. I'm not too worried about it's not full of sap. These particular pieces I have anyway. Just really kind of nice stuff. Really cool that all this coloration is from beetles. Paul says, still recouping. Stitches out tomorrow. Looking forward to getting back to the shop. Right on. And recorded first song in over 40 years. I sung it for my wife for Christmas. That is awesome, Paul. Yeah, well done. Paul posted the song that he's talking about. It sounds great. Good job, Paul. Right on. And did you record that all there at home yourself? Like, that's super cool. Ray's Dulcimer says, good morning. Good morning to you. Happy New Year. And Paul, glad to hear that you are recouping from the what would we call that? Surgery? The operation, the procedure. There is the word I was looking for. Right on. Stitches out tomorrow. That is good news, Paul. Robert says, that does look nice. I think it would be a good body. I think so too. I've kind of been saving these. I've got a couple. The only thing I'm not super crazy about is it's not a great orientation. It's a flat sawn board, but right in here, the grain gets kind of tight. I don't know if it would warp. It's a little close. I'll have to check the grain orientation on the other piece and see. If this wasn't there, like if it was just shifted a little bit, I wouldn't worry so much about it. But this one, I don't know. I think this one might be the test subject. The other one may or may not be better. I don't know. I don't get super hung up on grain orientation, but there are some can't even talk. There's a few things that I do watch for, and that is almost the center of the log was probably here. So it's fairly close. Just looking at these grain lines. I don't know. It's been drying. It's been cut long enough. It's probably fine. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Paul asks, does that pine have any of the blue coloring in it? The joys of bug poop. Yeah, it's got the blue. Like all through here. There, maybe you can see a little better. Right, there's a weird glare on there. There you go, maybe. Yeah, it's got all that through there. But the thing that's weird is, well, no, there's a few bug holes in there. There are a few. I was going to say I don't see many. This side's, oh, nope, there's one. Yeah, it's the beetle kill. Sam's here! Sam says, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. YouTube wasn't showing the live stream card to click. Now, what's up with that? I wonder if it's, I wonder if it has to do with, I only scheduled it this morning. I was a little behind on getting it scheduled. I like to try to do it the day before, so I didn't get it scheduled until like 6 o'clock this morning. So I wonder if that's why, or if it was just taking its good old sweet time. Raised Dulcimers! Channel member, right on, Raised Dulcimers. Thank you. So I need to get these scheduled too. So one thing that I want to do for channel members sort of a new thing. I want to do an extra live stream per month. That's part of the deal. So I need to figure out a good time. I'm thinking like sometime on the weekend. Raised Dulcimers, since you're here, do you have a preference? What would be a good time? It might be kind of hard to do because it's hard to accommodate everybody, but I do want to, we need to get those scheduled, get these channel member live streams up and rolling. So if you got any input, feel free. Let me know what time may or may not work good for you. Paul says, nope, spent 2 weeks in the studio in Fort Worth. That is cool. Nice. I love being in the studio. It's been a lot of years since I spent time in the recording studio, but it's fun. I don't know why I enjoy it. Paul says, video keeps hanging, but audio is working. Is that just me? I don't know, Paul. I know earlier the propane man was there. So, but he's gone now, which is good because it didn't take him long to fill the tank, which tells me that it's not going to cost me an arm and 3 legs. Only half an arm. Raised Dulcimer says Saturday at 10. Saturday morning. Okay. We might schedule those. I might do those for like the end of the month. Maybe it'll be like the last weekend of the month. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out a more solid plan for those. Sam, super chat. Right on, Sam. Sam says, sorry I missed a couple live streams. Had a really bad cold that caused me to miss a few streams. Towards coffee for Jeffafa. Enjoy. Legend. Sam, thank you so much. Whew. Coffee. Cheers. Right on. Right on. Oh, you know what, Sam? I didn't have live chat on. My apologies if I missed anything. Robert says, I've not tried lately, but I was wondering why YouTube does not offer the hype option from a computer, only a cell phone. I do not know. And it's not even on all phones. I've checked on several different ones. Some show up, some don't. I don't understand it. I don't think that's I think that's kind of annoying, really, because they, when they release a new feature, they want people to use it, right? That's the whole idea. But if it doesn't show up for everybody, then it kind of defeats the purpose. And yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Robert says, no issues with the stream from my end anyway. Sam, there it is. Don't forget to set as live comments. Yeah. Thank you. Your comment, or just when I was reading your super chat message, I thought about that. So we're there now. Paul says, heads up for channel members if you use Brave. YouTube blocks some members only videos, but live streams work fine. Had these issues already. YouTube won't fix because they want the ads to show. Yeah, I get that. And I don't think I've had any ads blocked that I know of. Ads still show up. I use Brave browser. Ads still show up on YouTube, Facebook, all that sort of thing on the browser. So I'm not sure. Yep, we will get, for all members, we will get the live streams going. I'll get that scheduled and be on the lookout for a post. And we'll do like a members only kind of post and get the live stream scheduled for that. One a month, probably on the weekend at some point. Right on. All right. So what's everybody working on? Anybody working on anything? I know it's a weird time of year for a lot of things after we get done with Christmas and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just want to know, what are we kicking off the year with? What goals? Do you guys have any goals? I'm not talking resolutions, that sort of thing. Although if you have some, you can welcome to share them. But what do you want to accomplish this year? What is there a build you want to do? I think we talked a little bit about this last week, but yeah, now that we're actually in the new year, what are we all gung ho about? Mine is getting this guitar built. First off, getting that done. Yeah, and I talked. Oh, I think we did really talk about most of this last week. One is this guitar. Two, I want to build the forge. Those are two of my things that I want to accomplish this year. I'm sure I know there's going to be a lot more things, but those are two. Those are two right now that I definitely want to do. Paul says only seen it affect members only videos if you join a channel. Okay. Sam says I sent a strong message to YouTube about the adverts interrupting the super questions. I said that if they continued that, I'd use PayPal as a method instead. Keeping my eye on it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I can't explain any of it. I don't have any control over that stuff. I get what they're trying to do. But, oh, I should have brought this out. So, you remember the guitar string height gauge I did a couple weeks ago? And I told you I wanted to reprint it in different filament. Well, I ordered in a few different filament types and printed a few more test pieces. And turns out that of the filament that I have anyway, printing it with basically 100% infill in PET G. Now, the PET G I used was Bamboo Labs PET G. Maybe I could find some that's a little denser or heavier. That one gave me the best weight. I printed it in ABS with the glass reinforced ABS. I thought maybe, it would be heavier. It's actually lighter than regular PET G. It's kind of neat doing some experiments. Of course, the carbon fiber, was it PET G or was that ABS? I can't remember. But I had some carbon fiber stuff, printed it in 100% ABS, but it was the PET G at 100% so far that's been the heaviest, giving me the most weight. I still have to source some brass knobs for the side to kind of hold in the dial indicator. But other than that, I think I've figured out I'm going to make these out of PET G. I really was hoping that the glass infused ABS was going to be heavier because it looks super good. There's almost no layer lines showing, and the print came out really good. But the PET G ended up being the heaviest, so I think that's what we're going to go with. Sam says YouTube doesn't seem interested in losing 30% of super chats from all YouTube users. Yeah, it's it's hard to rage against the machine. You know what I'm saying? Ray's Dulcimer says, incorporating CNC process in my shop this week. I'm a newbie to the CNC machine. Bam! There you go. Nice. Nice. Right on. Yes. Are you just getting into it this week, or have you been kind of working on it up until this week, and this is the week when you're going to start doing some cuts or something? Where are you at in the whole process? Because it's a journey, that's for sure. That's awesome. I'm no expert, but if you need any help, anything I can help with, just feel free to reach out. Mike Johnson's here, says sleeping at my desk. What's up, Mike? Happy New Year. What is going on? Wake up, wake up. If I had one of those noisemakers. Hope everything's going well. Blonde Brownies. My cousin says, hi, cousin. Sorry I'm late. Question for you. Have you ever heard of Iron Lumber Company in Wellsboro? Sounds familiar. I wanted to stop in last weekend, but they're closed on weekends. Irion in Wellsboro. It's been a long time, but I have been to a lot of the lumber companies in that area way back when. I don't recall that particular one in Wellsboro. but I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, stop in and see. I know there's several in Mansfield that I've been to. Wellsboro, I don't recall that one specifically. Um, if you stop in though, let me know how it is because I like to visit those kind of places when we're back that way. I know we visited one last time we were back there. It was up, I forget where that was exactly. It was in New York. It was up, I think, like if you were heading to Ithaca, it's up that way. But yeah, I don't recall that one. Robert says, I still think that to get a heavier 3D print design and added some type of metal slug. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm trying to just experiment. Like it's kind of just playing around really to understand. Um, yes, I could add, washers, lead, slugs, something like that to the print. But yeah, I just really want to understand what different filament, what the differences are really. And if it works without doing that, I'm totally fine with that. It's really, like I said, it's just more of an experiment just to understand what what the differences are. Blonde Brownies says, Ariane looks too rich for my blood, but I can always afford to window shop. Yes. Yeah, there's no harm in stopping in. There's a local place out here in town that I get a lot of stuff from. And at first, I thought it was going to be super expensive. Turns out, once you get in there, you have to, for this particular one, you have to set up an account. Once you have that account set up, like their prices are great as far as I'm concerned. So while I was initially hesitant, turns out that it ends up being a great place to get supplies from. So yeah, stop in and see. Just get some prices on the different things and see what all they have, and you never know. Maybe they're expensive on one thing, but something else is priced really good. So don't know till you stop in. And window shopping's always fun anyway. Sam says 3 Celsius in the UK or -3 Celsius real feel. 3 Celsius. So 34, 6, something like that. That's not anywhere near Harry Dude's 43 Celsius. Whoo! I'm still roasting thinking about that, Harry Dude. Neptunes is here. Neptunes, what's going on? Neptunes says, hello all. I almost missed it. Right on, Neptunes. How's it going? Happy New Year. Raised Alzheimer says, just got the thing assembled and ready. Have no idea about the programming or where to start from here. I'm not very computer literate. Any guidance would be gratefully accepted and appreciated. Let's see where to start. So you got the machine put together. Have you done anything with the modeling side of it? Let me know that, and then we'll sort of roughly kind of walk through at least what I did anyway. It's the only thing I can speak to. Blonde Brownie says single boards on the website sell between 1,700 and 32. Oh, whoa. Wow. Yeah, that's those got to be like special imported exotic wood. I don't know. Now I'm intrigued. I'm gonna have to look them up. I'm gonna open up a tab here because that's kind of how I keep things in mind. I open up like one of 8,000 tabs on my phone, and then I need to go. Then I can go back. Irion and Wellsboro. There it is. Okay. Make sure I got the tab. Yeah, I gotta look into that. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Pretty crazy. The one we went to up towards Ithaca, that was a super cool place. Family owned. They got a mill there, bandsaw mill, and I forget the name of it. Butler Hardwoods. I want to say. I mean, it's a little bit out of the way, coming from your way, but it was a pretty cool shop. We took a drive and went on up there and checked out their stuff, and I bought a few boards to bring back here. Sam says Neptunes, hello. Raised Dulcimers, 80 plus here in North Central Texas. Woo! Man, what a weird winter, isn't it? Robert says, Blonde Brownies, yeah, window shopping is almost always within anyone's price range. Yeah, and it's always good. There's a lot of places that maybe I don't shop from, but I'd like to know what they have, what's available, because sometimes you just need that one thing for a certain project. And I don't mean just, a board or some lumber, just any sort of materials. I like to know what shops have things, especially locally. You can find about anything online, but sometimes you're right in the middle of a project and you need a particular thing. And if you got a local shop of some sort or some sort of distributor or some place you can get things, man, that can really save the day if you're right in the midst of working on something. So, yeah, never hurts to stop in. And there's a couple shops, uh, lumber dealers here in town that I've never been to yet, and I just need to take a day one of these days and just go cruise around and visit some of these other ones too. But yeah, stop in, check it out. Ray's Dulcimer says nothing on modeling. Okay, so that's where you're going to need to start, really. And this was the biggest journey for me. And in fact, I still have struggles in this area. It's one of those deals, I don't do it every single day. The more you do something, the more comfortable you get. So in order to run your machine, which you said you have set up, you got to have the model, right? So where are you going to get these models? Yes, you can buy models. Lots of places sell models for things. But I think where this whole process begins to really shine, in my opinion, is when you can think of an idea in your head, you draw it out on the computer, create the model, and, especially for more simpler products or projects, right? So I got an idea for a thing. Spend a little bit of time, you draw it up, and that afternoon you're cutting it out on the machine and bam, right? It's done. Same thing with 3D printing, really. But unless you are just going to buy models from people, and that is fine. I'm not saying, I'm not knocking either way. You're going to need to work on some sort of modeling program. There's a bunch of them out there, some free, some not. So you need to have the model from somewhere. If you feel like you might want to do some of the modeling yourself, then I would, maybe start looking into some of these modeling, some of the CAD programs. Some of these programs will allow you to both design and create the G code. The G code is the actual file that you send to the CNC machine that has all of the commands to tell the machine what to do, right? Where to move and, up and down and all that sort of stuff. That's from the G code file. Some programs you have to use two separate processes. You create the model, and then you might have to use a different G code program to create that. So you got to kind of start looking into that. And like I said, you need to really start practicing messing around with some of the CAD stuff. And really, for testing, I mean, you just start making some simple shapes, nothing super fancy, and just to start learn how everything works. That part takes time. That takes way longer. It took way longer for me to understand the software than compared to using the CNC machine. The CNC machine is only going to do what you tell it to do. That's all it does. The old argument that the CNC machine is cheating because you just press the start button is 100%. All that is ignorance, quite frankly. those that don't understand the process or that don't have all of the knowledge, maybe. And that sounds kind of harsh to say ignorance, but I mean, really, if you've done it, you know that you don't just hit the button. You don't just say guitar and hit start. There's a lot more behind the scenes that. So I know it's going to take time, um, but yeah. So start with that. Tony's here. Tony says, morning sunshine. Francisco says 27 Celsius. Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. 27. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's about 80 Fahrenheit. Nice. Neptune says, Happy New Year. Hope you all had a great holiday season. Yeah, we did. Neptunes, it was good. On one hand, I'm kind of glad that it's over and we can get back to stuff, but I don't say that as a negative. You know what I mean? Like the holidays were great and all that stuff, but I'm kind of happy to be back to somewhat of a quote unquote normal normal week. School's back in session. Our school started back yesterday. They still had Monday off here, but it was like a teacher work day. So now we're back to the school routine and all that sort of stuff. Robert says, are those prices slabs or dimensional lumber? Yeah, I don't know yet, Robert. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to look at their website. Neptune says, hi, Sam. Sam says, when window shopping, you need a big van or truck to get them. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Robert says, Neptune, hope your holiday season was great as well. Right on. K McCall, hey. Right on. Good morning. How are you doing? Happy New Year. Let's see. Sam says, I'm having chicken tiki masala later. Sounds tasty. Is that the one with mushrooms? I don't know. I don't understand. Came call. Peace. Sam says, Jeff's doing a modeling program for next year's calendars. Oh. That sounds like a bad idea, Sam. Bad idea. I got to start keeping an eye out. Sorry, I got like right in front of the camera. I said I got a customer bringing up a couple guitars here. I told him he said like 10:05. So I told him we were busy from 9 to 10. But I don't know if he's going to get here early. He'll just have to wait. Robert says, Ray Dulcimers, you may want to look into some online tutorials in CAD and modeling. Robert, that's a great idea. It depends, depends on what software you end up choosing to use. I mean, and really, you could try a few different ones. I took a class to kind of jumpstart my CAD programming, designing, 3D modeling. There we go. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Lots of places have classes. Again, it depends on what software you want to use. I use Fusion. I took a Fusion class to help me out, and that was a big help. I think I would have got there, but it really gave me a foundation, like a good base to start on. Ray's Dulcimer says, fretboards and sound holes on my Dulcimer soundboard are my first goals. Okay. Yeah. All 100% doable. Like I said, it's just that modeling part of it. And I don't mean Sam modeling for the calendar. The 3D modeling. Robert says, CNC and 3D printers require a whole new set of skills to learn and master. Best of luck to anyone starting out learning those skills. Yes, it is a decision. I mean, it's not like, oh, I want to just try, I don't know, I want to try cutting dovetails. For example, I'm just brainstorming here, right? Maybe that's not a good example. But I mean, you could try that a few times, right? Cutting dovetails by hand. I'm trying to I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Maybe that's not a good example, but anyway, you could jump right in right now and try to do that. You cannot, however, I'm just gonna this may or may not work, but you can't just jump in and try to cut out your guitar body on a CNC machine. It you just can't. You have to know how to run the software to design the model to create the G code to send it to your CNC. There, you're right, Robert. Like there's a lot of it's a whole nother world, a whole different set of not necessarily woodworking skills, right? But skills. And it just takes time. And raised Dulcimers, don't get discouraged and just say, ah, heck with it, right? It is most likely you'll get frustrated at times. I know I did. But a lot of that is the fact that we don't fully understand what we're trying to do yet, right? You're just learning new things. It's kind of like if you go back to the dovetails, right? If I were to hand cut dovetails, they are going to look terrible. But that's not because hand cut dovetails, are no good. It's because I don't have the skills to hand cut dovetails yet. But the more you work on it, the more time you spend in the 3D modeling software, the more proficient you're going to get, the more you're going to understand how things work. And basically, I'm saying all this to say that you'll get there. Don't get discouraged and give it up. It's going to take a little bit of time. And start with simple designs at first, just to get the feel for things. Sam says perhaps dual stream with Rob from Canada. I don't know who Rob from Canada is. Do I? Raised Dulcimer says, I was thinking Fusion myself. Okay, I am not telling anybody what software to use, but like I said, that's what I use. I took a course. In fact, the course that I took was from Bob at I Like to Make Stuff. I took his Fusion 360 for Makers course. It's not sponsored in any way. I have no affiliation with I Like to Make Stuff or any of that stuff. But I went through his course at the very beginning trying to learn things, and it was a great jump start to learning how everything works. If you're looking for a course, I mean, I would personally recommend that one. It's not super technical, like something from maybe the manufacturer might have or something like that. His is meant for it's meant for us. Those of us that want to just get in, learn how the thing works to get started. If you'd like to check it out, you absolutely could. I think they've just revamped it. In fact, I'd like to go through the revamped one. This was several years ago I did it. But that one I can say it's a good course to get you enough knowledge to get going if that's the route you want to take. Yeah, not at all affiliated. Paul says, okay, was busy for a few, had you muted, came back to Sam modeling for a calendar. Mine went to WTH. No, he had me. We're talking about 3D modeling. And Sam said that I'm going to start modeling for next year's calendar, which sounds absolutely terrible. Neptune says, I use a Libra design, but Fusion has the most tutorials, I would say. SolidWorks is a good one also. Most will cost something, but I think you can still get Fusion for hobbyist free. I believe you can. Yeah, so I don't know. Sorry, I was reading. Sam says, cutting dovetails is mean. Yeah, why would we do that? Paul says, I have sure thought about the CNC stuff. but I can cut out, fully route a body in about 35 minutes. So no time saving, not close to it yet. Yeah, I agree. The fully route a body, showing cavities and everything. Yeah. By the time you have it cut out. Yeah, I can see that. Because I mean the router deal and the template, it's not that hard. It's not. The thing that I like about the CNC is literally the repeatability, um, and the fact that I can be working on something else while it's running. Um, and really, if you have everything set up correctly, I don't know. Sounds like I'm trying to promote it, but that's not at all the case. I have zero problems either method. I've done quite a few. I've done more guitars with templates than I have with CNC. Uh, Maybe this year will be the where that starts to shift. I don't know. I have no problem with either method. Neptune's LOL, Paul. Hair Dude says, if you want a software package that can do your CNC designs and run the machines, try Milmage from Lightburn. Yes, I was looking at that. All-in-one solution, design, G-code, sent to machine. Yes, check that out. It might work for you, Raised Dulcimers. I don't know. I was looking at that because Harry Dude's mentioned that before, and it looks like a pretty solid piece of software. And Lightburn in itself is a pretty good software too. So I feel like something like that could work really well. Again, I'm not affiliated. I have not personally used it yet, but I've kind of been looking at it. I feel that myself am too invested in my current software that it would be very hard for me to change because I'd have to learn something completely new. I'm kind of weird like that. Like, I want to switch my video editing software. I've talked about this for a long time. And I just have been reluctant to do it because I don't want to learn something new. Even though my current piece of software is very old now and it's starting to give me trouble. I've got a new piece of software that I want to use. It's all installed. It runs. I just got to use it. You guys do that? Is that just me? I'm stubborn like that. Rick's here. Rick Ash says, "Hey Jeff, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Right on, Rick. Good morning. Happy New Year. How's it going? Glad you're here. Right on." Sam says, I mean, perhaps dual stream. Oh, Rob Cosman. Gotcha. He knows a few woodworking techniques. Yes, he does. I know what you mean now. Gotcha. Right on. Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I don't know him or anything, but Rick says, "Hey, what's up? What's going on, Rick? How we doing? How was your New Year? How was that? How was Christmas? All that." Robert says, "Back when I was working at Career Tech as a PC tech, the DECA student organization or origination group had a few people running a few of the Autodesk software packages." Oh yeah, yep. I remember way back when. I think we ran the early version of AutoCAD. I think it was AutoCAD back in like the 90s. I want to say it was in school. We did like a drafting class. Most of it was on paper and drafting tables, but I feel like we did something on the computer. Now, I don't really remember exactly, but I think we did. I don't remember when AutoCAD was even released. When was AutoCAD released? Somebody look that up and post it in the comments. When did AutoCAD first come out? The very first version. Sam says you could 3D print flash drive keyring holders. Yeah, you could. You could. There's so many things that you could 3D print. I'm always looking for stuff, stuff to design, stuff to make. I'll even go online and just browse, like Thingiverse and all that. I don't typically print stuff from Thingiverse. I don't know about you guys. Have you ever printed stuff from there or anywhere online for that matter? Oh, this is supposed to fit whatever. and then you print it and it doesn't fit anything. That happens to me almost every time. So I would rather just redesign whatever it is I'm trying to print where I can make sure it fits. I don't know why. Every time, if it doesn't have to fit anything, it's not a big deal. But if I'm printing something to fit a certain thing, any model I download seems like it never fits. And it doesn't matter where I download it from. Maybe I'm doing something wrong with that, but that seems to be the way things go for me. Robert says they could get all of them for free since we're an education-oriented agency. Yes, I know they are. There are a lot of discounts for like schools and stuff, which is super cool because those software packages are very expensive, and I think it's great that they, that they give the schools a break. Paul says AutoCAD came out in December of 1982. There you go. So I'm quite certain that it was AutoCAD in some form that we used in like the mid 90s. Mike says coasters on the printer now. Very cool. Did you ever finish that knitting machine or whatever it was you were putting together from all those prints? Oh, another thing that speaking of prints, it just somehow racked my brain. I thought about, have you guys ever seen those clocks you can 3D print? Like those mechanical clocks, like the old kind of cuckoo clock style with all the gears and all the things. I thought about making one of those, downloading a plan of some sort and printing all that. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe make a clock that would be here, maybe hang here in the shop or something. Sam says, I want to get a 3D printer, but not sure what site is reliable to buy from. I mean, you buy right from the manufacturer of whatever printer you want to have. I ordered mine. Again, this is not sponsored. There's no affiliation. I use a Bamboo Labs printer, and I ordered it right from Bamboo Labs. Not sponsored. Just throwing that out there. I ordered my Creality, not sponsored, right from Creality. You can order it from Amazon. I don't know. I don't have a specific place to recommend, but I've ordered right from the manufacturer and I've not had an issue. Neptune says, I was using AutoCAD 14 back in the early 90s. It was released in 82, December 82. Yeah, so I'm certain we used it in the 90s as part of the drafting class that we took. But I remember something on the computer, but that's about it. Of course, everything on the computer back then was green, it seemed like. So who knows? Mike says, check the scale settings. Yeah, I don't even scale it. Like, I will download, if I download a model, which is very, very rare, and I just pull it in to the slicer, slice it, and print it, something doesn't fit. Paul says it's almost as old as you. True. It is. Almost. Not quite. Mike says, still working on the knitting machine. Right on. Sam says, clocks keep ticking people off. Yeah. Neptune says to Sam, if you don't want to have to work on the printer, I recommend Bamboo Labs. They just work, I hear anyway. They do. There's a couple things that I've had to mess with, but seriously, it is nothing in the grand scheme of things. Change a couple nozzles, replace a piece here or there. Once in a while, I've had a broken filament, so I got to pull the tubes off, but it really does just, for the most part, work. Harry Dude says, Milmage is currently free in active development. They'll start charging for it once they've got it to what they call a production stage. They're very active on their forums. I wonder if I should just download it. I wonder if it's going to be like a a grandfathered in kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you already have it and then it goes to production, do you get to keep it for free? I don't know. Paul says I bought an HP printer for my Macs, and I'm glad to say that it is a 3D printer and not 2D. Easier to use that way. What? HP printer for Macs, and I'm glad to say that it's a 3D printer. Huh. Interesting. Sam says, "Oh, okay. Thanks for the heads up." Yeah. Mike has got the Prusa. Says I'm a Prusa guy. Yes, I do not own a Prusa, but I have heard pretty much the same thing. Prusa are just as good. You know, they just work. Some would say better. I don't know. I can't vouch for any of that, but I have also heard what Mike is confirming, that the Prusas are good. Robert says bamboo seemed to be pretty popular. And if I remember correctly, seem to offer both laser and CNC as well. You can get the more advanced versions yet. I've thought about buying one. I can't quite justify it at the moment, but I wouldn't mind. Oh, Sam asks about the H2C. Yes, I would like to get one of those advanced models, one of the newer models, I should say. But I don't quite need it. Need, right? Need. Paul says, I meant, oh, is this 3-dimensional, not 2-dimensional? Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to print on a 2-dimensional HP printer. Yeah. Here Dude says, I bought my Bamboo Labs directly from them, fast delivery, and when I had a problem, they were quick to help and shipped the part out to me quickly as well. Bam, there you go. Yeah, I've never had a problem. I buy a fair bit of my filament now from Bamboo Labs because I like that RFID tag. You just load your filament in there and it, boom, auto-populates and the machine knows what you have. Loads the settings, all that stuff. Mike says, I bought my Prusa at the start of the pandemic. 5 years later, still going without any changes. Nice. Yeah. They just, the good ones just work. Even the Ender 3 that I had, it really did just work. Now, it needed a little bit more maintenance, adjustments. I did not modify it right out of the box, like if you read all the forums said to do. And as long as it teaches you to learn how to level, it makes you learn how to level, keep things clean, and it worked really well too. Neptune says the problem with the bamboo lasers, it leaves soot inside of the rails and other moving surfaces. I could see that totally. Yeah. Yep. Robert says, just got notified the stream has started. Oh boy. That's funny. And it looks like we are at the 10 o'clock hour, which means I'm gonna have a customer here mighty quick. So we're gonna have to start wrapping this up. I don't want to keep them waiting, especially if he's literally here at 10:05, which he might be. He's pretty punctual. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. You guys, for those of you that are channel members, be on the lookout for the live stream. We're gonna get that scheduled. And we'll probably later on in the month, towards the end of the month, we'll do that, the monthly live stream for members. And yeah. Again, no project video this week as I'm sitting in front of the computer. But we will keep doing the lives. And yeah, so they'll be next Wednesday, same time, same channel. There was a saying there and I was trying to think of and I couldn't think of it. So Sam says, thank you for the fantastic stream. Paul says, have a great week, everyone. Take care of yourselves. You too, Paul. Mike says, a lot of printers now do auto leveling. That's why I bought the Prusa. Yes, that is the nice thing about the bamboo. Yeah. Oh, that's not the customer. Somebody else. Sam says, be safe, everyone. Neptune says, everyone have a great week. I'll be back when I can. Right on, Neptunes. You take care. Tell everyone hi from us to you guys. Mike says, see ya. Right on, Mike. Robert, remember the thumbs up, people? Doesn't cost anything. Makes one feel good as well. Yes, hit that thumbs up before you leave. Raised Alzheimer says, thanks for all the advice. Anytime. Anytime. Don't hesitate. You got questions. Robert says, be safe and healthy. Brian says, take care. Stay safe, everyone. Right on, everybody. Again, Happy New Year. Let's rock this year. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great week. Get on your shops, build some cool stuff, do some cool things. Most of all, just enjoy yourselves. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Guys, we'll see you next time. We're going to get out of here. I think my customer is pulling in right now. See you guys later. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're out.